Welcome back to what actually is going to be the final edited episode of the White Sox March to October. And I know this one's coming out not a whole long time after the last episode. So in case you haven't had the time yet to see how the World Series went, I'm going to give you a chance before I spoil it. Pause this video, go watch it. Okay, you back? Good? We won 5 straight World Series championships with the Chicago White Sox during the run of this March to October. And like I've been planning now for the last couple episodes, I am going live to continue this March to October over on Twitch. And if you're watching this soon after it came out, it'll be later today. I'm going to be getting started sometime between 4 and 4:30 p.m. Central. And that'll be on my Twitch, twitch.tv/jkperfect10. You can find it in the description. I'll probably link it again in the comments. And we'll be seeing how much of year 6 we can get through before MLB 25 comes out. But I did want to go ahead and go through the off season in one more episode here today, so that when I do go live, we can just get right to playing games. So that's what today is going to be. We're going to start by going back, looking at the awards from last season, wrapping up the year like we normally do. And then after that, we're going through one last off season in the White Sox March to October. I just hit my desk and that hurt. All right, so let's go ahead and start by hitting continue and franchise so we can actually look at awards and stuff. We're going to go ahead and look at players of the month first, and we'll start here in April. Man, the Angels had player and pitcher of the month in April, and they didn't even make the playoffs. But then in May, we had pitcher of the month. It was Jared Schuster. We didn't have anything going for us in June or July or August. And then September, we came back. Dustin May was pitcher of the month with a 3.50 ERA though. So hey, we definitely did not clean up the monthly awards like I feel like we tend to do. So I don't know what that means for the main awards. I feel like I didn't personally do that great of a job keeping up with what individual players across the league were doing this season though. So I don't really have any guesses as to who might win MVP. But something tells me none of our individual players were quite on the level to have won it. And I kind of feel the same about Cy Young. I don't know if any of our pitchers were quite at Cy Young level this year, which I think would snap a streak. I think we've won every single Cy Young award until probably this last season. It's going to show us postseason awards first though. I think it'll start with the World Series MVP, which I'm going to guess is Dominic Fletcher. And then I'll go with overall postseason MVP. I'm going to say Colin Houck, although you could definitely make the case for Vlad with everything he did. So let's see. World Series MVP, it is Dominic Fletcher, a 400 average in the World Series with 2 homers, 6 driven in. And then postseason as a whole, I was right. It was Colin Houck. He batted .343 with 3 homers. And this was actually the second year in a row. I knew he always turned it on in the playoffs. All right, then let's go ahead and go straight to the MVP award. Do we have any chance at it? We didn't. It was Kyle Tucker who won it. I mean, yeah, he had a good year for sure. How about Cy Young though? Did we extend our streak? We did. Gallon won it again? Really? We actually had all the top 3. Gallon had the worst ERA of the 3 also. I mean, man, this year was kind of just him regressing. He didn't even pitch in the playoffs because his overall regressed so much. I mean, you can't say he had a bad season, especially when the offense was up across the league as much as it was. 3.72 ERA was fine. But when you compare it to what he's been doing over the course of the March to October, it's a big step back. And I feel like compared to these other two, I mean, Schuster had a better ERA. I think he had more strikeouts, right? Yeah, by a couple. May had a much better ERA than both of them. I mean, hey, our guy won it, so I'm not going to complain. That's a clean sweep then. 5 seasons in a row. Forgot to look at NL MVP though, so let's take a look at that. It was Shohei. I feel like it's always, well, it hasn't been Shohei the last couple of years, but it's showing his hitting stats, so I'm guessing he kind of won it based on the merits of his hitting, which, yeah, 45 homers, 338 average. That'll definitely do it. 8.9 WAR. And yeah, on the pitching side, he definitely wasn't as strong, but he's still, I still have never seen strikeout numbers in March to October like I've seen from Ohtani. I wonder what their Cy Young was though. I wouldn't be surprised if it just also was Ohtani with how I feel like they do things sometimes. No, it was Nick Lodolo from the Reds, and then Ohtani was runner up. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I obviously don't have access to the league leaders to know like who had the best ERAs, but I do know offense and run scoring was way up, especially this last year. So maybe the Cy Young winner having a 3.96 ERA isn't as bad as I think it is. All right, then moving on. What comes next? I always forget. Is it Rookie of the Year? No, it's his batting title. Man, we actually had Kerry Carpenter get close to that. And then next is the Reliever of the Year. No Garrett Crochet this year. I guess comparing him to these guys, that makes sense. And then is it Rookie of the Year? Yeah, it's Thomas Bates. All right, I mean, I badmouthed him when we faced the Astros, calling him a random, but he was actually really good. 321 average. Hank Aaron Award goes to Soto, and then I think it's going to be on to, yep, Gold Glove Award. So we only won the one big award, with Gallen repeating as the Cy Young Award winner. Let's see if we maybe took home some extra hardware here. Neither of our catchers won it, though. Vlad finished in third for first baseman. Nobody at second won. Third, no. Short, no. Left, no. Center, no. And nobody in right field. So we didn't even, not only did we not win one, but Vlad finishing third for first baseman. That was the best we got for Gold Glove this year. So next we got Silver Sluggers, and Kerry Carpenter wins for DH. That's actually kind of, we've won the last 3 years at least for DH. It's been a different guy every single year. Catcher, Shea Langoliers finished third. You have to wonder if he was an everyday starter and didn't sit against lefties, what kind of shot he would have had to take it from. Leo Sierra, which I always feel the need to mention whenever he pops up here. He was taken one pick before me in our first draft, and he ended up being generational. He's up to a 96 overall at 22 years old. He's going to get up to a 99. He's out here winning both Gold Glove and Silver Slugger for catcher. And what happened to our pick? The very next pick, the catcher that I took, he got erased. He got taken from us. I'm still salty over that, and it's been 2 seasons. All right, first base, Vlad wins it there. That's at least 3 seasons in a row, probably more. Actually, we can see here. Yeah, he's won it every single year of this March to October starting in 2024. Second base, Ezekiel Duran finished runner-up. That must have been a close race there. Julian's actually taken it 2 years in a row from Duran. And actually Geloff here behind both of them. You could make the argument he should have won it, just based on what we see here. Third base, nobody, but I don't think we actually had any primary third baseman on the team. So then shortstop, neither of our shortstops made it there either. I guess that makes sense with the seasons from these 3 dudes. Then outfield, Fletcher came first runner-up, so I guess that would make him, well, first runner-up, 4th place, because it's just outfield, not necessarily left, center, right. And I wouldn't imagine we had any outfielders that outperformed Fletcher, so I doubt we didn't win any of those. But still, don't sleep on the season that Dominic Fletcher had, man. Who would have thought he was capable of numbers like this? 37 homers. And then Trout too, second runner-up, still getting it done at 36. The regression, it's hitting him. Doesn't really seem to hit him in the numbers though. I think that's it though for the awards. Yeah, because we're right back into the playoff stuff. So there we go. That is a wrap on season 5 of the White Sox March to October. And before we just go straight into the offseason, I did want to go over my plan, or I guess lack thereof, for what this offseason is going to be, because I'm not doing anything. Like, I am literally just gonna sit there and sim the entire off season and let the CPU handle everything, because I've been saying now for the better part of the last 2 seasons that the goal at this point is to see if we can get any of our drafted players up to the big leagues. It's something I've never been able to do since they made it a multi-year thing, is within still playing March to October. I've never seen one of my drafted guys get the call. But the window of opportunity is open this season because of the 2 trades we made during the season to free up 40-man spots. Both the guys we traded for were on expiring contracts. Sheets was one, and then Kerry Carpenter that you see here is the other. Nick Senzel's deal is also expiring. Langoliers is also expiring, which that one's going to hurt a bit, but we'll still have Mejia. But then the one that's really going to hurt not to bring back is Ezekiel Duran, finally making it to free agency. This was the first trade we made in this March to October, and I was saying, man, he's got a chance to really be a difference maker for us, and he turned into that. We're not going to be losing any of our starting rotation though, which is kind of a shame because of all the prospects I have. Starting pitching prospects are like the closest to being ready to get called up, and now here they are. They don't have a chance, or there's not an opening, I guess I should say. The only opening that's going to be opening up is Tanner Scott. His deal is up. And actually, you know what I just realized? It probably happened before the season and I didn't realize until just now. We lost another catcher. The game took another catcher away from me. It wasn't a big deal one, but I think it was a C potential guy I drafted with high contact. He was like a 68 overall at the end of last season, and he's not here. I don't know, actually. The more I look into these rosters here that we have, we're losing all these position players, but that's not really where we've stocked up on prospects. Our actual prospects that are like ready to go, they're all on the mound. I mean, Jeremy Bench, Johnny Castro, Joe Rosales, Jody Deal, all of them over 70 overall, 72 overall or above. But starting pitching isn't where we have the openings. We need off-season trades in March to October. I'm actually worried now that I'm not gonna get to have what I want happen here. I don't know though. I kind of was set on my plan, so I'm thinking I need to follow through on it. I'm just kind of worried that all that's going to happen is the CPU is just going to auto sign a bunch of veterans, and that's going to be what fills our position player roster openings, because we don't really have anybody ready to go. Sitting here on our depth chart page, I'm only counting 9 position players. So that's 4 spots we'll need to fill. And yeah, I mean, like, especially when it comes to guys I've drafted, Jimmy Hernandez is probably the closest at a 70 overall to being ready to go. Yeah, this is not gonna go how I thought. Maybe instead of signing nobody, I'll bring Ezekiel Duran back, because he's our guy. He's been here for almost as long as anybody else. So maybe I'll re-sign him just so he's around for our last season when I go live, and that'll be the only move I do. It's actually kind of crazy. Acuna is also a free agent. He's asking for less money per year. He's asking for 7 years, 32 mil. Duran is 7 years, 35.8. I mean, I guess he is a couple years younger, but still, it's Acuna we're talking about. All right, well, yeah, I'm gonna do this Duran idea then, and just try and bring him back, and that'll be the only move I make. I've set up the positional and team needs so that he gets the most interest possible, a full 10% since he's the only one on the board, and I think, like I said, that's all I'm gonna do. I'm still gonna advance week by week. We'll see where other people sign, and then we'll worry about signing Duran when the time comes. But this should be like the quickest offseason we've ever done. Riley Green immediately signs with the Reds. The Reds were already the 2nd ranked team, and now they're adding a 93 overall. This could be interesting to see if we retain our #1 rank status if the Reds are making a move like this and we are losing a decent amount of talent, even if I am going to bring back Duran. All right, then moving on. It doesn't look like anybody else is signing, and I think, yep, we made it all the way to the next week, and Duran had like no interest in coming back. If he gained 10, that means his base level of interest was 32% to come back to us. Is it just because like he kind of, I mean, I don't even want to say gets lost in the shuffle, but like he's not the guy, he's not the star? Is that why? That's all I can think of. But dude, we got him a whole handful of rings, literally, and he's like indifferent on whether or not he wants to come back. I can't even offer him a deal yet. I guess since I can't do anything, let's move on right away to the next week. Like I said, this is going to be the quickest off season we've ever seen, and that's what I was hoping wouldn't happen. Last chance opportunity for Ezekiel Duran, and since we didn't make it to the next week, none of that next plus 10 to his interest is going to kick in. So what can I offer him if I want the best chance possible to bring him back? If I give him 9 years and 39, almost $40 million a year, still only gets him up to 57% interested. The thing is though, I don't even think that's an unrealistic offer. I mean, to offer a guy 9 years at 29 years old, that's not unrealistic. 40 mil a year at this point with what we're seeing, that's not unrealistic, especially with how good he is and how good he's been. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna offer him as much as I can, give him as much of a chance as he can have at coming back, and if we don't get him, we don't get him. I'm not replacing him. The only reason I was doing this was just to bring back a familiar face, and he's gone. We lost him. That's still, it's so weird to me how he had such little interest in coming back to the team who he just won 5 rings with. And the Pirates also, I mean, they've become one of the higher ranked teams too, and now they're adding a guy like Duran. I'm gonna say now, there is no way that we maintain our #1 rank with these teams getting these guys and then us failing to get back Duran. Oh, I forgot to see, okay, what did he sign for? 6 years, 34.4 mil a year. I don't know. I guess I just wish it would make a bit more sense, because like nobody is gonna turn down 3 more years and $5 more million a year? The only way to explain it is the whole percent chance interested thing. But that's just how it works in this mode. So I guess there's no need to question it because that's just how it is. There has been a couple other moves that we've missed though. Hunter Brown, I guess this isn't a big move, but he went to Texas. George Kirby, that's probably a big one, going to Baltimore. Francisco Alvarez to Cleveland in our division. I mean, I was just looking through, there are a couple of guys who could be fun to sign, like old White Sox to bring back. Yoan Moncada's available. I think I saw Jake Berger. Yeah, Jake Berger. Nick Madrigal was in there too. I just don't know if I want to. I don't know, because we're just gonna get hit with auto signings for our position players anyway, right? I planned this out a lot worse than I thought I did. I thought I had the plan nailed down, but no, our position player prospects are not, or they're really non-existent. It's all the pitching, man, and there's no pitching spots available. See, and I wish there was also a better way we could look at our roster and actually know who's going to be here, because right now, like, they're projecting for 2029. This is what they've come up with here. But we know at least one for a fact that we're gonna have that it's not even showing unless we go all the way to 2032. But Prelander Baroa, he's still gonna be stuck in the big leagues because of his minor league options being used up. And I don't even know if there's gonna be more like that. And they could be more pitchers, they could be hitters. I have no idea. So that's kind of why I have no idea if I want to actually sign people and potentially clog up a spot that we could have somewhat of a chance for a prospect to get called up to. And really, actually looking at it, the guys I pointed out, Moncada, Madrigal, Jake Berger, those are all infielders, and we don't need infield. Like, our infield's already full. Right now, we only have 3 outfielders, and that's Austin Hayes, Spencer Jones, Dominic Fletcher. You know what? I know. I'm gonna go back to my original plan. We're just simming through. I'm not doing anything. We'll see what kind of team we're given, and hopefully we can see drafted prospects get called up one way or another. But I'm keeping that chance as open as it can possibly be by not doing anything. And I skipped past that, but Nick Lodolo signed with the Dodgers. The Cy Young Award winner going to the Dodgers. Who would have thought? All right, moving on then to the next week. There were no more big signings, I guess. Logan Webb to the Mariners. Oh, and Clase moved from Cleveland to Minnesota now. Jays sign a starter. This dude, Oviedo, he's up to an 87 overall. And that looks like that's another week in the books. Okay, you can't do this to me. Anybody else, really. And I would have just been like, no, we're staying the course. I'm not signing anybody. But it had to be not just one of the 3 that I mentioned being somewhat interested in, but the one of the 3 that I was the most interested in. It's just we don't have the room. That's the thing, is we don't have the room for this because he can't play the outfield. None of our infielders can play the outfield. I mean, he could DH over Termarr Johnson. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to alter my plans here. We're going to go through this whole offseason not doing anything because I'm keeping as many spots open as I can keep open. That's the plan, and I'm sticking to it. Yordan goes to Cleveland. So they signed 2 Alvarez's now, if I remember right, because they signed Francisco. Oh, and then Tanner Scott, he's going to the Phillies, the team we just beat, the team he helped me beat in the World Series. All right, we've gone another week. No more signings after those last 2, and we're going right to advance from there because I'm not doing anything. Nolan Jones comes into the division. That's kind of a few big moves that have found their way into our division. Gunnar Henderson going to the Rangers. Acuna to Miami. That's a weird one. Oh, Hoppy to Baltimore. That's another weird one. Although maybe they don't have Adley anymore. Oh, and then Casas also coming to the Orioles. Is it just me or is everyone a high overall now? Is that just how things go this deep into, I guess, simulating? Is everybody just becomes such a high overall? Look, Royce Lewis over a 90, Edward Cabrera 87, Kerry Carpenter going to the Red Sox. Oh, and Langelier's another one of our guys going to San Diego. All right, we're already over halfway through. Let's advance another week, see what other big moves we're going to be missing out on. Verdugo's going to the Bay, and nothing else, I guess, happened until Christmas. Look who this is. Jose Ramirez. Actually, I guess guess that's a mistake I made. I had the positional and team needs still set up for Ezekiel Duran. Maybe I should change those just in case, or I'm not going to sign anybody anyway. I was going to say just in case an outfielder pops up. I'm just going to let the CPU do whatever it's going to do. I am going to change these though, just in case that does anything. All right, we'll go ahead and advance on past Christmas now. Kopech signs with the Rangers. He's at a 92 overall. How high did he get by the time we were done with him? I guess he's been off the team for a lot longer than I realized. And he finally had a good season of simulating the year before. All right, coming up on another week. A new year, actually. Move on again. Spencer Torkelson's going to the Angels. He's up to a 90. He just hit 38 homers. Danny Jansen to the Mets. Not only are there a lot of high overalls, but like everybody else is in the 80s. We are not going to be the #1 ranked team anymore. With losing everybody we're losing, and it seems like everybody else is such high overalls, and they keep offering me infielders even though I changed that. I changed the positional needs. Still probably wouldn't sign anybody that comes here like that, just because like I keep saying I want to keep the spots open. I'm just going to be very curious what the CPU decides to do. Like, it's going to have a field day signing players. Yeah, dude, even David Peterson at this point. 83 overall at 33 years old. And now it's Ketel Marte. He at least could play the outfield, but again, I'm not going to do this. He's been really good. Wow. But no, we're not doing it. I am staying with the plan, sticking with the plan. And we're almost done here. This is week 11 of 12. Christopher Morel to the Rockies. Finally, somebody signing that's under an 80 overall. And all right, finally, they're offering me an actual outfielder here. Stuart Fairchild. I'm still probably going to say not interested. Although maybe I shouldn't. Like, if there is anybody that makes sense to sign, it'd be a guy like this, who is definitely a bench player. It's going to auto-sign bench players anyway. Should I just sign a bench player? I'll at least add him to the list and I guess make the decision from here. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess if there's any openings, it's in the outfield. It's going to sign people anyway. I'm going to give this one a shot. We're going to lowball him a bit. I don't care about the money, but we'll bump the years down to 2. Not like that matters. It doesn't matter. We're only playing one more season. This is still the offer I'm going to do. If it happens, then it was meant to be. And it was meant to be. At least we got somebody that I feel at least decent about, that at least fits what I want to do. Because it's not like I want to sign any new starters, but he'll be a good, I guess, utility bench guy who can fill in any of the outfield roles. That works. And I guess this is it then. If this is week 12, is this, or no, there's usually like a final week or something like that. So we'll move through here. Volpe signs with the Rockies. They've made a couple signings, I think. Trent Grisham to the Angels. They've made a couple of signings. They're going to be interesting. Jarren Duran coming into the division. Cade Cavalli coming into the division. I wish this one would have popped up instead of Stuart Fairchild. This is a little bit more intriguing. Just because he's what Fairchild was, but more. He's a better fielder. He's faster. Nah, you know what? I'm not going to with this one. I'm not going to sign 2 players. We signed our one guy. I didn't even want to do that originally. We're just going to move on. We'll see what the CPU does. Maybe it ends up signing Mitchell anyway. Still a couple big moves, I guess, because Tyler Glasnow is going to San Francisco. Is that it, though? Nothing else? Okay, another one for San Francisco. James Outman. James Outman's an 89. Edwin Diaz to the Cardinals. Dude, Stone Garrett? Stone Garrett. 85 overall. Still some more signings. Ketel Marte going to, well, I guess it's still Oakland, actually. CJ Abrams coming into the division. Brendan Rodgers to the Mets. Nick Senzel staying in the division. No. Man, there's still, like, everybody who's still signing is in the 80s. Garrett Mitchell went to the other Sox. And is that it? Or is there going to be one more day of, it doesn't look like it. No, we're coming up on December 33rd, the best day of every year. Apparently, we had a 5-star offseason and we got Jake Burger anyway. Well, I told you the CPU was going to have a field day. I wonder what this is going to mean. I wonder what else we signed. It should show everybody that was auto-signed here. Oh, that was it. The only other auto signing was bringing Luke Jackson back. I don't know, actually. I'm not upset about this Jake Burger thing since it was an auto signing. Yandy Diaz is interesting. He's still an 86 at 37 years old. Both of these guys, though, fill the same role, so I don't know how that's going to work. But all right, let's move on and let's take a look. We're not going to end the episode yet. Let's see what these rosters are looking like. First things first, are we the #1 ranked team? We are still the #1 ranked team. All right, then what's our roster looking like here? Blaze Alexander. Of all the people that could have been brought up, they chose a 58 overall 29-year-old. Other than that, though, I mean, everything else looks familiar. The only thing I'll probably be swapping around is Berger will DH instead of playing third. But then what about pitching? I did see a name from the offensive screen. Yeah, Jeremy Bench is here. He made it. So that's it right there. Jeremy Bench becomes the first player that I've drafted that makes it to the MLB. And I could have sworn he was an 81 or at least an 80. It doesn't look like we got stuck with any unexpected minor league option guys because we knew it was going to be Prelander Broa. Actually, I didn't even stop to think about that. I bet that's why Blaze Alexander is here. That sucks. If I really cared, this would probably be the worst one yet, being stuck with a 58 overall. But all right, guys, the team is set. I'll probably set up the lineup, set up the trade stuff in case we can finesse any trades that get some more prospects up throughout the year. But this is it for the White Sox March to October, at least in the edited form. Remember, like I've hammered home already, we're going to be live on Twitch. Might be happening already if you're not watching this immediately. Again, twitch.tv/JKPerfect10. Link will be in the comments and in the description. And I forgot to mention it earlier, but the other channel, the stream channel, JKPerfect10 streams, I'll be uploading the recording of the stream after I'm done. So if you miss it live, you won't completely miss it. You can catch up on it that way. But yeah, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching again. Thanks for hanging out. And I hope to see you over on Twitch.